And we are live, and we're going to start, and the guests will be coming in soon, I'm sure. We've had some really great views of the show, so I want to thank everybody who watches the show and participates in the chat room and everything else, because I use StreamYard, but it doesn't show me exactly who's, like, the number of people that are exactly watching. But when I get done with the show and I see the numbers, I'm like really impressed. So thank you. And I'm going to continue to try to give you quality shows with quality guests and everyday people. Um, so it should be interesting. And next week, um, Dan from Big Beard um, is possibly coming on the show. He gave me a tentative yes. So we'll see. He's got a new app out. So we're going to see what his new Spirit Box app is all about. Anyway, this week we have back Dr. Robert Sheipe. Dr. Sheipe has been on twice already. We did a 2-part series with him last month, and he's got more exciting news and more information to give us, which I think is like awesome. So welcome, Robert. How are you?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Renee, we good. We do have a feed, an echo, an echo.
Huh, I wonder why. That's really weird. I don't hear it on this end. Do you hear it on your end?
It's about 3 seconds apart.
Huh. I don't think there's anything I can do. I actually have my phone, which gives a better quality, and I don't have anything else lit up around it. So
Oh my God.
you don't have a anything near the computer, do you? Or and it just started when I went live?
Yeah, right when you went live. Yes.
It must be a StreamYard thing then. Oh wow, that's crazy. I don't know how I would fix that because there's nothing, no microphone or anything to fix. It's got to be. I'll blame it on the Canadian smoke.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I think it went away now.
Okay.
Yeah, it just went away.
Oh, that's weird.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, I got my camera going, pointed at the TV.
Okay.
So you know what that means. If it just starts to text whatever we're saying, I'll document it again.
Okay.
And for those new viewers, for some reason, when I do these podcasts, my TV will start to type what I am saying. And the TV is turned off right now. So it does not come on. The screen is off. It's black, but it will just start to type what I'm saying. So I've learned to have my camera going when I speak with Renee. So
yeah. it's the eyes from above. The big eyes are watching.
I think so. I think so. So yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know what they want with us. We're just a couple of regular people.
Right.
We're not movers and shakers. So why are you even listening or watching us? It's just
because we think outside of the box.
Well, yeah, we do that. That's true. We do. I don't know. Maybe they're hoping to learn something. I'm hoping to learn something.
Maybe, right? I know. Shout out to Colleen, who's in the chat room too. Colleen is the one that I sent you the picture of the sunflower.
Yes. I do remember that. Yeah, that was spectacular. That is a fantastic photo. Please keep sending. Please keep sending any type of photos like that, unusual photos, UAPs. The good news is the word is getting out, Renee, and people are sending me now. Which is a relief for me because, I mean, I can't push this train by myself forever. So other people are learning how to see these UAPs, and they're saying, "Hey, look what I found. Look what I found," and they're doing really well.
Good.
Really, really well, because as exciting as this is for me, it's exhausting. is, it's putting in 8 hours a day trying to keep everybody in the loop of what's going on. Fortunately, today we had like a slow day with the military. They're not swarming Marina del Rey, so I like that. But pretty much for the whole month of June, it's been way over the top.
Well, you had some exciting news the other day when I talked to you on the phone, because you emailed me and I called you right up and said, no kidding. And then a few minutes later, you're like, I gotta go film.
Exactly. Briefly, so what's been going on for the last 6 years in Marina del Rey? The government, the military has been chasing these small UAPs. They're 10 inches. And they're doing everything they can to chase them. Everything. They're sending in every helicopter in the country is here. But one thing I did not anticipate, and that was a few days ago, I just can't believe it. NASA came to Los Angeles and was flying around. And they spent 6 hours on Tuesday and 6 hours on Wednesday. And they said they're taking pictures and they're measuring the air. But I really think I know why they're here. And this UAPs, I don't want to say it's out of control because they haven't done anything. They're friendly. But the military has done everything they could. Again, they're here every day. Yesterday, I did a podcast, and then as soon as I stopped, I couldn't believe it. It was like a gift fell out of heaven. 2 Apaches came in, taking their time, looking around. I recorded the whole thing. And these small UAPs, whenever they fly by a helicopter, I call it a tag. And these Apaches got tagged 5 times.
Wow.
A lot. And actually it was 8. I only saw 4 the first time, and then I watched the video over and over, and then I found another 4. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It's exciting, it's exhausting, but it's important. I think the work we're doing is important for humanity. We're planting seeds. We're trying to teach other people how to fish and get the word out.
Right.
And all you have to do when you see helicopters, you take your phone, hold it sideways, record it for 30 seconds. You will see these tiny, dark, they almost look like a bug, but they're not a bug. They're tiny UAPs. At first, I thought they were dragonflies, so I still refer to them as dragons, but they are not birds. They are not bugs. And if any of you are watching Skinwalker, they just posted their first dragon video, a good one.
Really nice.
A good one. I mean, they're first. I have like 4,000 or 5,000 of these videos, but they just posted their first, and it's really good. And everyone should check it out. It's on YouTube, Skinwalker.
That would be the show Skinwalker Ranch, right?
Yes, in Utah. That's
in Utah.
Correct. Yeah, they just posted it last night, I believe. And some of my viewers were emailing me, say, Robert, you got to see this. Look, what the? And I'm like, whoa. And they're just doing what I'm saying. You hold your camera up and they'll fly by.
So they must have watched one of the shows that you were on.
They must have heard something.
Hopefully it was my show.
I hope. So
I think it would be interesting. I would be so fascinated to go out there on the ranch, to be invited as a psychic medium and, an investigator of the paranormal and UFOs and everything, to be able to go out there and see what I could do to help. You know what I mean? I would be in my glory.
Oh yeah. You never know, Renee. If I get invited, I will drop your name.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Logically, I should get invited, but we'll see. Sometimes logic doesn't apply to science. So
they're using your technique, so they're obviously watching you. So
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for them. Again, they're helping humanity too.
Right.
They're doing it. I mean, it's great. They're getting the word out, and of course, it goes back. We need everyone's help. Hold your phone sideways, record helicopters or airplanes. You will see these tiny black dots shoot across. It'll be like a bullet. It'll be so fast you won't even see it. But if you do see it, you'll talk yourself out of it. You'll say that was a bug. It's not a bug. In fact, it's very hard to record a bug. I mean, just depending on where you live, it's very hard. So I'm just trying to get the word out.
Nice.
And you can watch my channel, Custodian File. It's behind me. And I'll teach you how to do it. You can email me, leave a question. I'll answer your question. But it's very active. This has been going on 6 years. It's not slowing down. It's not stopping. It's not stopping. It's very active. So these UAP dragons, they're not leaving in Marina Del Rey. The government is not leaving. I'm getting tired, but those two are going strong. And they're all over the world, not just Marina Del Rey. For some reason, Marina Del Rey is infested with these UAPs. That's what we don't understand yet. And believe me, the government's been here over 15,000 times, 15,000 helicopters, and 3 ships, 3 research ships. And one of them was the USS Navy Gabriella Gifford. They don't come out just for lunch and to waste time. Right. That's a warship. For them to be parked right here in front of my house, I couldn't believe my eyes. And of course, I recorded everything. I documented it. So in the future, when you hear about these Navy ships reporting UAPs, look for the name USS Gabriella Gifford, because their name should be on the report. In the interest of clarity and fairness, it should be on the report.
I'm going to do a shout out to Bobby Joe quick, and which he said for you is, oh my gosh, really? I have do not disturb and a call comes through. That's weird. Sorry about that, everybody. Bobby Joe said, I love learning about Skinwalker Ranch and Blind Frog Ranch. Now, I've never heard of Blind Frog Ranch.
Oh, I think that's the new one in New Mexico, I believe. They just started putting that on TV, I believe. But Skinwalker, I'm focusing on Skinwalker because they've got the most scientific equipment and scientists,
and they were out first. To be fair, they were out first.
Yeah, they've been out a couple of years now, and so there's a lot going on. The word is getting out. There's no reversing. There's no reversing this. And the word should get out. It's been 80 years of truth embargo.
Right.
So I don't understand why is it top secret? They say we're going to go, if we found out there are UFOs, that we're going to start to scream and go crazy. I don't see that happening anymore. We have the internet. I mean, there's some crazy stuff on the internet. And if that's not making you go crazy, nothing will.
Right.
So a UFO flies by and lands. You're going to go for an hour. That's exciting. And then after an hour, someone's going to say, hey, Renee, you want to go get coffee?
I'd be like, hey, go get it for me. I'm staying right here. I want to see them exit the ship.
Well, yeah, just like the movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still in 1951. Everybody. Yeah, I get that. Oh, talking about that briefly, as I was just watched it the other day, and this is not even esoteric. No one in the world knows this, but I'll share this with your viewers. So that movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951, UFO lands in Washington, D.C. Now, why is that important? Well, I had a very gifted friend. I think I told you about him, Glenn Falkenstein. I don't even know if he was from this planet. He was so gifted. He was in the Air Force, and he got discharged in 1952. They took him back to Andrews Air Force Base, which is Washington, D.C., in July of 1952. And he told me one time, he said, Robert, do you know about the UFOs in Washington, D.C. in 1952? Because the UFOs invaded Washington, D.C. in July of 1952.
They didn't do a good enough job.
No, they did a loud shout out, but basically, he said, I was there. I saw it happen. So my point is, and Glenn was so gifted, is the UFO showed up to say hello to Glenn, which was in Washington, D.C., likely. So it's ironic. 1951, they do that movie, and then 1952, it happens in real life. That's the kind of mojo Glenn had. Just
nice.
eerie. Just eerie. If he said, "Don't worry, it's gonna happen," it happens. So I just thought I'd throw that out real quick.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
When we were talking the other night, and you had sent pictures in the email, and I said to you about NASA and the government and all the aircraft, they were like all over, like all clustered and like flying around in the same area at the same time. And I'm like, I'm surprised that they must have been at different elevations, because what a cluster.
NASA was at 28,000 feet. Essentially, they call it a grid, or a racetrack, but flying circles over Los Angeles for 8 hours, 6 hours each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's hard to keep up. So they're flying over Los Angeles. We've got the military coming in, the Coast Guard, the Black Hawks, the Apaches, the police, the fire department. They're looking. They're doing everything they can. I'll give them that. They're doing everything they can. Nobody in the future could say you should have did more. They can't point their finger at the government and say you should have did more, because they're doing it now.
Right.
They're doing the more now. But at the end of the day, these dragons are not leaving. I get new video every day. I think the only time we came close to stopping these UAP dragons were 2018. According to my video, we did shoot at them. We did capture one. We knocked one out of the air, but it did escape. And then after it escaped, and I documented the escape, after it escaped, we've never knocked one out of the air since. There goes the TV. Hello. Okay, I got you on film. There it goes. Yep. The time is 5:20. I'm just going to go back and look on the tape. We got it, Renee.
Nice.
Why would they want to record that? Just shooting down a UFO. Why would they? I don't get that. What's top secret about that? I'm sorry.
Because we're not supposed to know. We're supposed to be dumb. They think they've dumbed us down between, everything, and the news stations all broadcasting the same thing word for word, all that stuff. It's like a programming. But there's those of us that don't watch TV and don't watch the news and don't listen to the news. And, there's a whole lot of us.
It's right. And we're learning. We really are. There's a lot of us becoming conscious. We realize, hey, we're being given fake information. We're not being given the whole story. We're being told 1%. So it is happening. That's the good news. And I'm trying to do my part. I'm trying to get my truth out there. And this is truly phenomenal for an event like this to be occurring. Again, it's all over the world. You can find these UAP dragons all over YouTube if you know where to look. And the easiest way I find them is I go to air shows, the Thunderbirds, the Blue Angels, especially the Blue Angels in Chicago. That's the easiest way to find these UAPs, the easiest. But just look at any Blue Angel show. You will see them flying around. You know, you got to do a little research, but once your eye is trained, like I said, just look for that bug, for that black dot,
Right.
and then go back and you found it. That's where it is. That's where it is. And the word is getting out. It's exciting. It is.
So earlier this week, they had the World War II aircraft flying over here. And they were doing a 50th anniversary or something for, I don't know, they were flying different parts of New York State, but I'm like 2.5 miles down the road from the airport. And so this aircraft was all doing a round, and they were supposed to fly over my way, but I wasn't able to see it because it was storming out and raining.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to get out here with my phone and see if I could capture anything, like you were saying, with this World War II aircraft.
You could, yeah. Just hold your phone sideways. Zoom in halfway, not too close. You don't want to be close, just halfway. And also check with YouTube because other people posted the same video. So that's how I find a lot of UAPs. Other people go to air shows, they post their video. You get to watch it for free on YouTube. And there you go.
Interesting. See, this wasn't even an air show. This was just, they were doing flyovers at different parts of New York State.
Oh, they got
in celebration of a 50-year something or another. Oh my God, there's cats going off.
Oh, they got tagged, Renee. They got tagged. Oh yeah, if you have that video, then that makes it even more rare because it's not an air show. So
right.
That makes it more rare.
See, and it was storming out.
Oh, that's too bad. I hate it when you lose good video.
Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah, when bad weather, it's very frustrating. It's because you're losing really good video. You'll get other opportunities, but still, you're losing good video. But like I said, other opportunities. There'll be other days, with good weather.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So let's take some questions. If you have some viewers have any questions, I'd be more than happy.
Anybody in the chat room or anybody watching, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them. So one of the other things, I'm sorry about the noise, everybody. It seems to be congested with people up this end right at the moment for some reason, which is unusual. Kids that shouldn't be without adult supervision are up this way.
Right.
Anyway, so some of the things we were talking about were like the chemtrails. We were discussing that before the show started, and we were talking about the smoke in the air. And I was talking to Colleen earlier. I think it was Colleen. Yeah, Colleen, we were talking about it too. Where the sky here is actually blue, but you've got the smoke, which is hazing everything. But because you can see the blue sky, and it's heavy, it's pretty dense, but not so bad. I mean, it doesn't look so bad right here. You can see how heavily they did the chemtrails. So they do a lot of chemtrails typically around this area, but they were pretty hot and heavy with them today.
Yeah, it's I guess they're hitting us with both barrels. They're coming at us. It's the 1-2 punch. And as you know, these chemtrails, they just sit in the sky.
Right.
Like hours and hours. It's just, I'm blown away by that. They just sit there. And then they checker. It's just like playing checkers in the sky. North and south, east and west, and they just sit there all day. And it's, we become almost numb to it, but it's just not acceptable.
No.
God only knows the poison that's in that stuff. It's very concerning.
Well, we know that they plant what they call seeds in the clouds and stuff that will cause rain and whatever else they're trying to experiment with. But yeah, the chemtrails are not a healthy thing, and I don't. They've been really like the heaviest I've seen them in years would be this year with it, and I don't know if they're doing something with the soil,
Uh,
trying to, because they're saying our food supplies are going to be like really bad and everything else because of the weather. Well, you know, it,
I, it's when I have in my front door, I have this red tile, red adobe tile, like at the front door on the sidewalk. And after it rains for a week or so, this white powder crystal starts to grow on the red tile. And I've scraped it up and I put it in a bag. And I just remember I need to get that analyzed because this is a very odd phenomenon. It's never happened, and now it's happening.
right.
It's some type of a white, maybe like aluminum powder, you might say. If I had to, as a pharmacist, if I had to bet, it's some type of aluminum powder oxide. It's just falling out of the sky. And it slowly builds up after 7 days of rain. It's just sitting on the ground. Is very peculiar, and it's got to be happening in other parts of the country, and most likely there's a chemical reaction with the red adobe. So if anyone else has this red adobe stone nearby, if you see that white patches, white ash, try to collect it, scrape it off and collect it. It's spooky.
Yeah.
It's spooky. It's not good. I mean, it's our food supply is in question, our air quality, the water, our healthcare system. Very concerned.
You noticed, I don't know how it is out in California, but I know here in New York State, to get an appointment to see a doctor, you have to wait a while. And the specialists are all backed up. You have like a year wait on some of them or more. And I'm like, we are where they said it would never be. We have gotten to Canada's healthcare system. We are there.
We're there.
We're there.
And the irony is, we're not paying less money for our insurance. We're paying more.
Right.
So we're paying for a luxury car, but we're paying for a new car, but we're being given a used car.
Yep.
And we're paying a lot of money for the best health care. And I got to tell you, I mean, I know something about medicine. I don't like what I see when I go to a hospital. I don't like what I see. It's the sense of urgency to take care of the patient is not there. It's not. I mean, God forbid you go to the ER. I know how this is going to play out. They're going to put you on a stretcher and you're going to sit in the hallway for 5, 6, 7 hours. It's just going to go downhill after that. So please don't get sick, anyone. Don't get sick.
Yeah, it's gotten really bad. And here's a perfect example. My daughter needs dental surgery, but she needs to be put out to have it done. She's got, she grinds her teeth and she has teeth coming in out of like the roof of her mouth, they're out of her palate. And they're like, that's odd, right? So, she, is probably from drugs and alcohol from her birth mother. And she's, that's what they're attributing it to. But so she's got to have all this dental surgery. She has to be put out. And so when I had brought her to her one dentist that we go to, they sent in the referral. And like a month later, I haven't heard anything. You will. I haven't heard anything. So I'd call up because it's got to be done at one of the major like university hospitals, right? And I called to where it was referred. Oh, yes, her name is here. We're not there yet. Well, how much longer is it going to be? Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. We're behind because of COVID. Okay, so how can you be behind because of COVID? And this is the whole thing is even these medical complexes and facilities have used it as an excuse to slack, right? Okay, so why why are you so far behind? Because we got far, behind because of COVID. All right. You'll hear from us in a month, in a month, in a month. And I call, nothing. And and then the school was saying, well, did you hear back? Did you hear anything? No. So they would start calling. And so the both of us are calling, and they were getting all, stressed out for me calling, but I don't care. It took a year and 1 day, and they called and they said, okay, so she can come in, and they set the time. They wanted to do it in the morning. I said, no, I work. You need to make it for my time schedule. Plain and simple.
Right.
And this is what time I get out. I have about a 2-hour drive. Figure it out. So 3 weeks later, 3 weeks, we got in just for another exam, even though they had all this stuff. And 20 minutes there, and they said, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do. I'm thinking, great, a couple of weeks. And I was being sarcastic, and I said, do I have to wait another year before she can have it? Oh, no, we're down to 10 months now. 10 months. I said, and what happens if she has an issue? Because no dentist will touch her because of her disability and stuff. No dentist, local dentist will take care of her. Not even the oral surgeons, right? And I'm like, so I have to wait 10 more months. What happens if something happens? Well, you'll have to bring her in, and we'll just have to do it, and they'll have to strap her down and hold her down. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You would traumatize her that way, but it's going to take at least 10 months before I hear from them again. So I can't call.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. Again, as a pharmacist, I look into the system. I could see our shortcomings. And doctors are calling me and they're saying, Robert, something, and this has been going on for years, but it's critical right now. Something like lidocaine to numb the skin, to do elective surgeries, for instance. Major shortage of lidocaine in America. So it might get to the point where you cannot go to a dentist because there's no lidocaine, Novocaine, to numb your mouth. It's a serious concern.
They wouldn't even be able to get near her with one of those needles, even with Xanax in her, because anytime she's got to go to like the dentist or anything, she's got to have Xanax half an hour before the appointment.
Right. I get that. It's a good thing for Xanax because it works.
Yeah.
It works. But it's the situation. I mean, all I could do is just tell people, share information. But yeah, our healthcare is going south very quickly, and we're paying more and more money for less care.
Yep.
And
and we've gotten to Canada. So everybody that came from Canada to the U.S., don't bother coming now because we're right there with you. We're waiting.
Pretty darn
We're
much.
waiting just like you are up there in Canada, and I don't see it changing. Bobby has a question. She wanted to know, are there certain times of the day to see these UAPs or these dragonflies better?
Great question. No, they're everywhere. They're all over the world. Again, the easiest way to see them is turning your camera on and recording helicopters. Now, if you just turn your camera on and record the empty sky, almost very hard to do, so don't do that. Just wait for a helicopter, a Cessna airplane, or even a jet airliner. Start recording them, you will see those tiny dots fly by. 80% likely. Very high probability. Very high. Yeah. And just watch my channel and I'll teach you how to do it, and I'll teach you what to look for. I've been very fortunate. I mean, I'm not bragging, but my channel is like 20 years in the future. There's nobody. I have no one to compete with. Not yet.
And you wouldn't even want to compete with anybody because you'd want to merge that information that you get. And Bobby Joe said, thank you.
You're very welcome, Bobby. You're very welcome. Anytime. Yeah, check out my channel. But they're always flying. Theoretically, I was thinking, how many are there in the sky? How many? If they're everywhere, how many are there? So I've on a low estimate, if there's just one of these UAP dragons, one per square mile, and that's a low number. There's probably more than just one per square mile. Realistically, there's probably 5 or 6 per square mile. But if you just did one, and if you go on Google, there's almost 200 million square miles on Earth. So there's about 200 million of these dragons everywhere, always flying, always. There's a lot. You will record one. And at the same time, these UAP dragons are perfect. They're mechanically, mathematically perfect. So you could assume they are on other planets like Mars and Saturn. And since we have so many cameras on Mars, you will see pictures of them on Mars. It's already started. We're getting about 2 pictures a year, and we're going to start getting more and more. It's already begun. So people
They've got those little Jetson cars going.
Yes. Well, they are tiny Jetson cars. I'm jealous. I'm very jealous of these UAP dragons. I got to admit it. It takes a lot to get me jealous. Hello, TV. You're going back on. Thank you. He's printing. It takes a lot to get me jealous. Okay. Write down the time, 5:38, 38 past the hour. I'm going to send you all this video, Renee. I don't know. Why does it happen when I speak to you? I don't know.
Because maybe I'm being watched too, because I'm inquisitive and I research, and to be honest with you, I'm just going to put it very bluntly. I don't put up with bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can look all sweet and innocent and everything, but my mind is always working, and I can smell foul from a mile away or more. And, what is the big deal?
There isn't. That's exactly. I'm still not getting it. What's all this? I understand some things have to be top secret, but really UFOs have to be top secret. I'm not getting this. I need someone to really explain why this needs to be top secret. I could say this again. My friend Glenn, TV went back on, 5:39. Okay, take your time. My friend Glenn, very peaceful, holy person. He would have nothing. If these UFOs were evil or something bad was going to come from it, he would have nothing to do with it. Zero. So the fact that, and I'm pretty sure he told me he's teaching me all about this. So in other words, only good stuff's going to come from this, nothing bad.
Right. And that's the whole thing. I don't feel myself that there's anything negative to do with them. They're always trying to communicate with us, just like spirits. And, and like I said, every time I've had a sighting, there's been shadow people right off to, the side watching me, and I'm watching them. And the only time it hurt, and I don't think it was anything intentional, is, right in my third eye one night. And it felt like a really strong pressure. And I said, okay, you're done. I know you're not intending to hurt me. You're trying to get information, and I'm going inside, and you need to stop. And they did.
Nice. Yeah.
Headache was gone. But so they, they're curious just like we are.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and in many ways, they know us better than we know ourselves, really. And I've never felt anything dangerous about it. It was just that pressure just kept on, it was just very intense for me. And I was like, yeah, no, you can't do that. I know you don't mean to harm, but it hurts, and you're going to stop, and I'm going inside.
There you go.
And that was it.
That's all you have to do is just communicate.
Yeah.
This is not working for me. I have to go.
But that was one time out of several.
Yeah.
Absolutely several different, sightings and stuff, because I can come out here tonight. If it was a clear night, I would see them. I know right where the portal is. There's a portal up there. It does not move. The sky can move. This portal is not moving with the sky.
Wow.
You know, and it almost looks like an amoeba. You know, and it
Yeah.
shape, you know, it changes its shape and everything else, but it's there. And you know, it looks almost like it almost like when I see a portal, I see glitter, like, you know, like a white glitter. And so this changes shape. So it doesn't matter if it's in the sky, if it's in a building, you know, wherever it is, that's how they appear to me. So I can
Right.
pinpoint them.
Right. I follow that. I've seen that. I've seen exactly that.
Yeah.
It's a whole other world of science, and I'd like to see us get caught up. I'd like to see us go to that next level of understanding of this different science, the chemistry, the physics involved, so we can benefit.
Hmm.
Because this is something humanity benefits from, all of us. The more we understand, the more we're going to benefit. Eventually, we'll make better medicine. We'll have better hospitals, better X-ray machines. But we just have to start. And
I would like to see everybody go more holistic and get these greedy bastards' pockets not filling up any more than they already are.
that's going to be really hard. Yeah, when you go holistic, they just don't. There's no advocates for that.
Right.
The FDA is like not on board with that. It's a whole other unfortunate dark avenue. It is what it is. But you know, the best thing we could do is enlighten people about these UAPs, the spirit world. It's real.
Oh yeah.
It's all very, very real. I can attest. Again, it's there goes the TV again. 5:43.
Because I was talking about big pharma.
You know, it never. This is a record, Renee. It's never gone on this much. I was just saying, I haven't seen it go on in 2 weeks.
Really.
And then, amazing.
You sound like a robot right now.
Oh, so that was the echo thing.
Is the echo thing back?
Yeah, and the TV's going crazy, Renee. It's
They're
weird.
trying to tap into our. Come on, people, give us a friggin' break, will ya?
Yeah, they're trying to tap into our audio. It's messing up our audio, and they're accidentally triggering the text. Wow.
I know. I'm like, really?
Yes.
So Bobby Joe said that her lights flicker a lot when she's researching the other side. And that's one way that spirits will communicate, Bobby, is through the flickering of lights and stuff like that. And then Linda said there is one spot that she looks at in the sky at night, and it's always sparkling. It's very interesting to watch on a clear night, that is. Yes, Linda, that could possibly very easily be a portal. And what a portal is going to look like, and everybody thinks it's this perfect circle that there's going to be all these swirling inside and all that. No, it's not. You know, I've always seen them as being, they like, I'm just going to say, like, take an amoeba, right? You see the amoebas are clear and they change shape and forms and just kind of in and out and around. And that's what they look like to me. That's what I see when I see a portal. And it's like wavy. So you see like wavy or like an energy difference within it. And there's lights, like glitter, white glitter all around it. And that's how you see it changing the shapes and stuff. It's not an air balloon. It's not a weather balloon. It's nothing like that. Oh, which brings me, get ready for your TV. You ready?
Yeah.
They came out with the Chinese spy balloon, had all American equipment in it.
Yipes. Wow.
All the equipment they were using were American. Now, here's my next question.
Wow.
Most of our electronics and stuff are made in China. But if they're saying that it's American equipment, then this thing must have lifted off from American ground.
That's very concerning. First, I can't even believe they would release that. I could see how that might be top secret, but the word got out. So this
Oh, they
very
said it. They said it.
I'm going to
It's
have
just
to.
another part of their game, you know. It's just a.
I'm going to research this American equipment. Uh, this is very concerning. I do know the first object was a balloon,
Mm-hmm.
but the second one and the third one they found over Chicago airspace in that area. They said they shot at it and the missile missed, and then they shot another missile and hit it.
Right.
I'm not buying that at all.
So this.
Because the pilot said, "Hey, I see it. It's a black hexagon, and then he shot at it." Well, I have a picture of that black hexagon. It's a UAP over Chicago airspace. I have that picture from 6 years ago. So I'm not buying the coincidence. I'm not buying our missile missed. Not, it's almost theoretically impossible. These missiles don't miss. Our missiles don't miss. So the point is, I'll tell you what I think would happen. That pilot, he shot that missile, the one that missed.
Mm-hmm.
And these UAPs, they do have a policy. They have a return to sender policy. That missile turned around and came back at our jet. And that guy, he was flying for his life. He was flying like Tom Cruise, like Top Gun. And I think he just barely escaped from being shot out of the sky. That's what I think. And I say that because a couple of things. The Italian government has reported the return to sender syndrome, because they've tried to shoot down UFOs and they got shot down by their missiles. And I have a colonel, a major in the Air Force, and he told me the same thing. He said, we tried to shoot down in 1950 and 1960s for 20 years. We tried every day to shoot down a UFO. And he said, every day somewhere in the world, we lost an airplane because the missiles would turn around and knock us out of the sky. But it took us 20 years to change our mind to stop doing it.
Mm-hmm.
20 years. So that comes from a very high source in the Pentagon. He told me that. That's not even on the internet. So I'm buying the first one was a balloon, but the second and third was a real UFO. And I think our pilot barely made it out of there alive. That's what I think. There's no way besides, if it's a weather balloon, why are you shooting a $500,000 missile? Shoot it with a bullet and it will float to the ground. What, right? It's like using a machine gun to shoot down a party balloon?
Because our government likes to spend money where it doesn't need to and give it to people that don't need it, as far as other countries and stuff.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Sorry.
Very, very frustrating.
They like to launder.
Am
I saying too much? Is your TV going off yet?
It's, we tolerate it. We tolerate all the crazy stuff in the news and decisions that are being made on our behalf, and they're not healthy decisions.
Mm-mm.
It's as if there's a understanding like people are unlimited and they're going to live forever, and you can take as much as you want from them. And you want to make their life uncomfortable, you could do that. I don't understand this kind of consciousness. It's not good. And I could tell you, I believe these UAPs are here for our best interest, these UFOs. Mm-hmm. And I think they're pretty tired of it too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think, and like I said, they're friendly right now. They haven't hurt anybody. But you never know. Like, all that could change in one day.
Mm-hmm.
One day I could just be filming these things on the balcony. And the next thing I know, who knows, some of these choppers are landing in the water. So I think we should communicate, talk to them, get on their good side, try to figure it out. Just like spirits, you try to talk to them, figure it out, what's going on, create a good rapport. It's a win-win. Everybody wins. Everyone wins. Spirit world wins, UAPs, UFOs win, humanity wins. Nobody loses. Nobody loses. So,
well, I mean, and we could get into the topic of star seeds if we wanted to. We won't tonight, but talking about the star seeds and everything else. I mean, it seriously, in the spirit world, star seeds, let's intermix them and everything else. The angels actually, are they actually angels? Or we're told that, but
yeah, but, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 years ago, what other word would you use? If you saw a light, you would go, oh, that's an angel. That's an angel. The concept of life on another planet, that would be like a dinosaur seeing a UFO land. The dinosaur would have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't have any clue. 5,000 years ago, they had no clue.
Right.
So we have a better understanding. We have telescopes. We have these robots that go to other planets. So now we know, hey, there's something going on in the universe. So, yeah. So what these angels were just other life beings. And I believe in God and the creation, and I believe a lot in the Bible, but God made the universe, and there's a lot of life in the universe. It's pretty basic. There's a lot going on. I've never been to the Atlantic Ocean, but I'm very positive there's a lot of fish in the water there. A lot of life. A lot. It's the same principle. I would find it unusual. I think if I had a spaceship and I was going planet to planet, I would expect to find life here, here, here. I would find it unusual if there was no life on a planet. I'd say there's something odd about this.
I think there's life on every planet, just that we don't or haven't discovered the type of life, even if it's microscopic. I think because everything adapts to its environment, right? I mean, so
That's right.
I mean, and science can say whatever, but I really feel that there is some sort of life on every planet because of them being used to their environment.
Well, it's like they find these little fish 10,000 feet underwater, and there are these little bacteria that's they live next to the volcano spouts under the sea where the water's 150 degrees or 200 degrees. And how can bacteria live? And yes, it's there. So life adapts. It adapts. And you can expect to find it. It would be unusual if you did not find it.
Correct.
Yeah. So really in the big picture, it's going on here. That's what these dragons are. That's what they're doing. They're here. The word is getting out. A lot of people are seeing them now. I knew it would take some time. I've been at it for 6 years. I knew it would be a slow process.
Let's talk about the sighting they had in it was Vegas, right, where the couple saw the unfamiliar life form in their backyard that looked more alien than anything.
I looked into it quite a bit. I tried to figure out the location of the backyard because I was trying to calculate, because there is an Air Force base in Las Vegas. It's called Nellis Air Force Base. It's in northern Las Vegas where the old Vegas is, the original Vegas is. And I'm trying to ascertain, was that house next to the Air Force Base? Was that alien ship trying to land at the Air Force Base? So I'm really trying to look at it. The witnesses, they somewhat seem credible. And then you had this meteor in the sky or this light that was recorded. And then a few days later, Homeland Security showed up and attached these cameras on the light poles. And after 5 days, they came back and took them down. But I'm glad they showed those cameras because now I know what to look for.
Nice.
Yeah, and I've been meaning to drive around Marina Del Rey and look for those same cameras, because those cameras in Las Vegas should be the same cameras here in Marina Del Rey. So that's a real mystery. Something odd is going on there. Just people don't make stuff like that up.
No.
And they would have confessed already. If 10 people know a top something a secret, somebody would have confessed by now. There's something very odd about that. And I'm even hearing reports that it did come back and there was a second sighting. So it's unfolding. It's not over. It's not over. Something's going on. But that Air Force Base at northern Las Vegas, it's worth looking at. Go on Google Map and look at it. Click on the structures that are there. There's some interesting structures.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the phone there a few weeks ago. And I zoomed in on it. I looked it up and zoomed in. It was very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. And I was doing that originally to investigate the UFO story. And then, hello, TV 558. I got a lot of video to send you later. I'm going to be up late tonight. And I was investigating that, the Air Force Base. And I'm thinking, okay, if you had a UFO, would it be parked at the Air Force Base? And where would they park it? They might park it in a hangar, logically. And then I recalled, I was talking to a friend in the Air Force in 1983. I hate to say 40 years ago because it's too long. I just like to say 1983. It sounds less like it's less time. And he told me he got invited to that Air Force Base, Nellis Air Force Base, and they showed him the UFO that they had there. He gave me a lot of detail. I won't go into the detail because I don't need anyone at the Air Force to take me too serious. You know, right now it's like, nah, he's making that up, so don't worry. But if I gave you all the detail, then it'd be a different story.
Right.
I think this Area 51, I think people are looking at the wrong Air Force Base. I think they need to look at Nellis in North Las Vegas. That's what I think.
Did TV turn on yet?
The last one was 1 minute ago. So that's a total of six. That's a record. It only went on twice the last time I spoke with you.
Wow.
So I'm going to show you all this time, and I pointed the camera exactly right so we could see the whole text. I'm going to put
send them to me, and I'll put them on my reels and stuff like that.
People are going to freak out, Renee. They're going to go, "What is this?"
Linda wants to know what you're talking about with the TV. Because she came in late. Yeah, she came in late.
Linda, the TV is randomly typing what I am saying to Renee. And it's done that 6 times in 1 hour. And I documented it because I had my camcorder recording the TV, because I thought this would happen again because it happened the last time I spoke with Renee. But it only happened 2 times the last time. Now it just happened 6. Renee, I'm going to send you the link. As soon as we hang up, I'm going to put it together. I'll send you a link. Give me like an hour or 2 to put it together. And then feel free to show it to anybody.
All right. Yeah, because I mean, I got the magic touch. Remember that, Robert?
Yeah, I think, Renee, this will be a first in history. I've never seen anyone reporting this phenomenon.
It's the eyes from the big eyes, or what?
I guess. Again,
they're watching us.
I don't really know what to say. I'm just a dude. I was born and raised in LA. I was never born in Russia. I'm not a secret agent, nothing like that. I'm I'm kind of like just a conservative, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. But like I said, I keep going back to Glenn. Glenn was very blessed, and when you have people like that, it rubs off on you.
Right.
And
Linda said thank you, and she said, Bobby said, could it be because there are more like-minded people listening? No, not on his TV that's off. No. This is the
yeah. The only way
this is government.
Yeah, the only way I could prevent this is unplug it from the wall. But I don't want to do that because I want to document it. Like, why not? Why not document it?
Well, your cell phones, your tablets, your computers, your TVs, all that stuff, they can watch you. They can watch you, what you're doing. It's like, you think you're hacked. You are hacked by the government because they can watch everything and hear everything that you're doing through your electronics.
Oh, yeah. When you're at a restaurant or coffee and your cell phone's on the table, it's listening. It doesn't have to be. Remember, a cell phone is a microphone. It can hear, just like your ears can hear. Your mouth can speak, but a cell phone can listen and transmit. So it's always on. It's always on.
And it's not only that, but like you can sit there and you could be thinking about something that you want to buy. You don't even have to say it. And then all of a sudden it's pulling up on your Facebook feed. Did you ever wonder why? Because it's AI, which is very dangerous for mankind. I'm sorry. AI and, the government in these different places are basically tapping into your life and tapping into your mind.
Renee, last week, my wife walks over. She shows me her phone. She goes, look at this pop-up ad. It was a mirror with a black frame. She said, I was going to tell you an hour ago, I wanted to pick up a mirror with a black frame, and it skipped my mind. And now I'm getting pop-up ads, mirror with a, I've seen it happening more, and it's very concerning. How are they doing this?
AI. And everybody's so excited about AI.
Yeah.
AI. And it's one of the most evil things that they could have introduced and put into our lives. AI is dangerous. And yeah.
Like the movie Tom Cruise Priority Report, where you can get in trouble just for things you think or things you might do in the future. It's really turning out to be kind of real.
Right.
I mean, and that's happened more than once for her and for me. And I'm like, I didn't even say this out loud, and I'm getting a pop-up ad. And of course, you and other people are like, that's happening to me too. This is very
peculiar. It's been happening for a couple of years before they actually introduced AI. And now it's more.
Glenn,
always remember, anything new they're going to put out, they're going to test it first on us. We are the test subjects, plain and simple.
Glenn told me around 2035 that telepathy will be common, about 2035. So this is about right. If telepathy is going to be common, it would have to start now with this AI reading our mind. And then it gets better and better and better. And I don't know if everyone being telepathic's good. I don't see any good in that. No.
And these fires in Canada were not naturally started. And if you take a look, we used to have what was called HAARP. Is it HAARP? And we sold it to China, and it's weather manipulation. So there's HAARP, and we sold it to China, and now we've advanced to these laser type things, and they're being tested out. They've been tested out and started the California fires not too long ago. They're going to always blame it on people or lightning strike, but it's not.
Yes, I just learned about this, Renee, and so I'm like the last to learn, but it's called plasma fire. Plasma fire. Go on YouTube, type it in, learn about it. It's basically, it's energy weapons, it's HAARP, it's lasers. and these fires just spontaneously start, plasma fires, and they're
They
very
tested it in California first, or maybe not first, but with the fires, a few years back. And remember where certain houses would catch on fire suddenly, and other ones wouldn't around them, and then then another one would. That's what it is. It's these lasers, and they're used as weapons. They're weapons, and so this is what's happening in Canada right now. And if you don't believe me, look it up. And like he said, plasma fire. They're testing them out. They're weapons, and everybody around the world has them. A lot of your bigger countries have them, and this is war. This is war.
Oh,
sorry.
Last month, Renee, I won't name the insurance company, but a prominent insurance company in California said, "Hey, we're not insuring houses anymore because there are too many fires." A very prominent, think of the biggest insurance company in America, and now they won't sell. They said, if you have a policy, we'll keep you. We won't kick you out. But these plasma fires are getting out of control.
Mm-hmm.
It's concerning that there's nothing you could do. You can't really protect yourself. If it starts, they don't go out. They don't go out. It's very concerning. I think I actually saw one in my neighbor's yard about 8 years ago. It started about 2 a.m. He had some lumber. He was doing some construction. He had some lumber, and I can't be certain, but I know I ran out there at 2 a.m. I took my hose and I tried to put it out, but the fire would not respond to the water. The fire was ignoring the water, like I was putting no water on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see a blue flame in the center of the fire, and it just kept going. I'm like, oh my God, this could get really bad. The trees could catch fire. This could get really bad. So I grabbed another hose. We had 2 hoses, and the fire department showed up. But yeah, this plasma fire, if you don't know about it, I didn't know about it, but you can learn anything you want on YouTube. Just type in, what is a plasma fire? And you'll learn a lot. In 5 days, you'll be an expert.
Yep.
I would encourage everyone. It is out of control. Yeah.
And people don't understand. And like that whole thing with Texas freezing a couple of years ago, where they, lost all the power and the freezing, that was all HAARP. Or CERN, could be, CERN too, but it was all.
Well, what I found suspicious about that Texas thing is you'll find this interesting. There are 3 power grids in America. One power grid for the East Coast, one for the West Coast, and one for Texas only. Texas has their own power grid. They don't even borrow electricity from the country. So if their power grid is that sophisticated, why would it break? It makes no sense. It wouldn't break.
Mm-mm.
That's
considering most of your power grids in the United States are owned by foreign countries that are backed by the Arabs financially.
Well, also too, yes, and this is concerning. Those giant transformers, the size of a garage that are at power stations, those are made in China, and they have microchips. And China can turn our electricity off at the push of a button.
Right.
That's all there is. And if those things go down, it takes like a year or 2 to have a new one built. They just don't have them at 7-Eleven. You go buy these giant transformers. If you can, keep a generator, keep a small generator in your backyard. It doesn't have to, just enough to keep your refrigerator and maybe your TV. It's a crazy world in the future. It is what it is. We can't get off the planet. There's no jumping off. It's like you're committed. We're committed. We're on this roller coaster, the biggest roller coaster in the world. It's like, no, you can't get off. It's already started.
I tell everybody I'm from the planet Zebulon.
Okay. Well, it's got to be probably better than this place. So
it's a perfect world.
Yeah. And we could have it here. We really could. It's just, we need everyone on board.
Well, you know why I can't go back to my planet, Robert, right?
No.
Because I've been to Walmart one too many times and I'm tainted now.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go. It could be we could have heaven on earth. It's just, it's the 1% of the evil people that will not go along, and they're pushing all the buttons. It's yeah. And they're pushing the buttons.
We have some smart people in this world that are smarter and more capable of putting that down.
Well,
knocking it out, and it's not happening, but people are afraid.
Yeah, I do think in the end, the good guys win, the smart people win, the good guys. Mm-hmm. It's a long course, and it's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
But it is coming. I'm optimistic it is coming. Yeah. Yep. But in the meantime, really just take care of yourself, prepare for the worst. I say, you don't have to spend a lot of money on emergency food. Canned tuna, personally, I could live on canned tuna. Some rice and canned tuna, I could keep going. And of course, some water. But it wouldn't hurt. There goes the TV right here. At
you get for talking about tuna and rice.
Oh my God. Tuna and go figure. I think it said crystal too. I only glanced at it, but I think it said the word crystal. But I'm gonna send it all to you, Renee. And again, put it on a reel, send it to everybody. But in the big picture, good things are happening. The fact that I'm recording these dragons, these UAPs, they're on YouTube. God forbid if my YouTube channel ever disappears. And I disappear, but I don't think that will happen. The word is getting out. So there's a light at the end of this tunnel.
There is.
This roller coaster ride does come to an end. It does. And things will come.
Can't wait.
I hear you.
I want not a normal life, but yeah, normal life. I don't want to, the way things are now is not how I envision my future. So it needs to come forth.
It doesn't have to be this hard. We don't need the chaos. We don't need the AI. We don't need the chemtrails. Mm-mm. We don't need this poor healthcare system we have. I could say a lot. I'm withholding 99%.
And I know you are.
Yeah, because I know where it's broken. I know, and I'm just encouraging people to stay healthy, do the best you can. If you skydive, maybe skydive left. If you rock climb, maybe do it a less. Don't expose yourself to the ER room at the hospital, because it doesn't go well. It doesn't. It just.
You're very quick to still intubate people.
Oh Lord, boy, Renee, I could tell you something about that. The TV will start typing and our computer will go off. You don't want to know what I know about that. You don't want to. I'll tell you off the record.
We'll see if our information jives, because mine comes from spirit.
Yeah. I'll tell you privately. Honey, let me call you right back. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. That's my wife. I at least had to say hello. No, I'm not exaggerating here. The incubation thing. What I know is not even common knowledge in medicine. I just, being a pharmacist for 40 years, connecting the dots, connecting this dot, putting information slowly together. It's really scary. I mean, I don't want to be the person to know that let the cat out of the bag, but you do not want to be incubated.
No.
You don't.
No.
I'm sorry. You just don't. I'm trying to be neutral, but I'm trying to warn people. Don't. Hello, TV. There you go. I'm trying to warn people. Let me document it. 617. Yeah. See, I didn't say it. You can't blame me for any. I didn't say what I wanted to say. I'll give you a clue. 60 Minutes, season 48, episode 10, 4810. They did a story on this gentleman in Arizona who had lethal injection. And if you look at 60 Minutes for season 48, episode 10, they made the mistake. They accidentally showed you the recipe for lethal injection.
Mm-hmm.
And they shouldn't have done that. And that's how it's tied into incubation.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'll say. Yeah. So let's feel
all
free.
About the money.
It's spooky. It's spooky. I'll leave it at that. If there's any questions, feel free to reach out.
How can they reach you, Robert?
Custodian File, just Custodian File. Reach me through my comments. I'll answer you. Or my email is custodianfile@gmail. Custodianfile@gmail.
Right.
It's that simple. I'm an easy person to find. I will get back to you. And I'll keep you updated. And we'll talk later, and I'll give you the other half of the. Of what,
no, that's fine.
Yeah. And just everyone stay healthy, stay out of the hospital, and I wish you all the best. I really do. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate everyone watching.
Robert, thank you for coming on again. And there was all exciting information and stuff. And, we'll have you back on again.
Amen. I love that. Okay, Renee.
I love having you on.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.